I'm saying? Just the other day, they said that Daniel Kinhan was apprehended. You know what I'm saying? They finally got his ass. Yeah, I just woke up, cleaned this kitchen up and shit. You know, now I'm about to. Well, I didn't just wake up. I've been up, but about to get on the road real quick. Yeah, they said he was apprehended. Good. About damn time. This dude been. They've been saying he was in Dubai, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, uh, um, and all this shit. You know, about time they got his ass. Cause really, to tell you the truth, it was kind of funny how somebody with all that stuff over their head was able to circumvent the law and hide out in another country. And it wasn't like he was running from an asylum for unfair persecution or something like that. Like, you know, his hand was caught in the cookie jar. You know, his hand was literally caught in the cookie jar. You know, and I know some people out there want to say, you know, we had people out there like Bob Arum and a couple other folks talk about some shit like, well, it's you know, until he's proven guilty and all that stuff, um, you know, he's still gonna do business with him and all that shit. I don't think that's really how it works. You know, I don't think that's literally how it works. I think that if this is just me, if the because the writing was on the wall and it was easy to get information from people. The writing was on the wall that there was a good chance that you doing business with somebody that was doing nefarious things, and some people out there they was willing to still conduct business with them because the money was just too good, and that's what they should fucking say. They should say the money was too damn good for us not to say no to that motherfucking money. They didn't want to get in the way of their money. You know, because at the end of the day, we all knew what the deal was. You know, even before the panorama thing hit the streets, it was the rank was on the wall from everybody that was in boxing, the people that wasn't in boxing. You know, you know, even the times that they did get arrested and got off, you know, was a testament to people may have and may not have been doing business with them, because now your business and your taxes and your books and all that other shit is now you got to answer for that shit, you know. And we see it all the time in sports. You know, somebody beat their wife or get a DUI or something like that, get fired. Say something wrong to a coworker and get fired, and all that stuff. And this guy, his brother and his uncle and shit like that, got caught up in what was it, Spain somewhere in Portugal. Then you got Dillian White up over there, having training camps over there and shit like that. Then you know, it all doesn't make any fucking sense. You know, but this is not the end. So now this guy is going to have to go to court. You know? So everybody else with MTK Global and all them other little knockoff sports promotion things that Daniel Kinhan or his people's created for him to get through the taxes and all that shit. Now all that shit's going to be on public display. But now, who's really gonna snitch? Because people were so fucking scared. People, even to this day, they even say something bad about the dude. People are still shook. He got the whole. He got people out there that shook, and some people and some of these journalists were even threatened to watch their mouth. So So y'all know how it is. Everybody can say stuff about all these boxers out here and how they're bad and people shouldn't like them and all that stuff. But when Daniel Kinhan was going through all that shit, a lot of people didn't fucking care. Loads of people didn't fucking care. Loads of people didn't fucking care. So I'm over here wiping this motherfucking sink off. I mean this countertop off real quick. Cleaning up a little bit before I get on the road so I can cleaning up a bit. There you go. That's better. Pushing that shit back there. That's better. That's a lot motherfucking better than how I had it. Yeah, that looks better on this counter. I gotta wipe some of this shit up. Then get back to vacuum one more time. Yeah. Yeah, but people knew. They didn't care. They didn't care, and people were saying what that got to do with boxing and all this other shit, and Tyson Fury hanging out with the guy, and nobody give a fuck. They talking about what that got to do with boxing and all that shit. But then when some of these other fighters hang out with people, they want to get all up in arms, all the way down to accusing like people like 78 of fighting dogs. And talk about how he's a bad person, he's pimping and all that shit. But when it comes to Daniel Kinhan, motherfuckers, you gotta call a spade a spade. If you're gonna call something out, call it out all the way. And then some of these cats didn't give a fuck. They cared about everybody else but this dude going around here killing people with drugs, guns, and all kind of shit probably, and running from the law. So motherfuckers can miss me with that. And this all started because of an American promoter. Nobody was worried about Daniel Kinhan until really like that. The U.S. Treasury looked into him. The FBI looked into him. They I don't know if they had an ongoing investigation, but they definitely had a foul on him. And the shit really didn't hit the fan until Moses Heredia filed RICO on a dude because Daniel tried to poach his fighter. Daniel Kinhan tried to poach Jojo Diaz. You know what I'm saying? And they went to court and all that shit. I don't know what happened to it. I was monitoring it for a little bit, but I'm pretty sure on Daniel Kinhan's part, he never showed up to court. So I'm pretty sure they didn't rule in his favor because he never showed up to. I don't think he ever showed up to court. Why would he? You know what I'm saying? Why would he show up to court? And get that click. And then there was reports about Interpol. They saw him in Dubai or Bahrain over there somewhere, but it ended up being a dude that looked like him. It wasn't Daniel Kinhan. It was a dude that looked like him. But they've been Interpol and all them cats. They've been monitoring them. But the problem is the government over there wouldn't allow him to didn't want to get him, couldn't extradite him. But that dude with the PPE loans messing around with COVID. You see how fast they got his ass? They didn't waste no time whatsoever to get him. No time whatsoever to get his ass. No time to get him. But Daniel Kinhan, a dude that did far worse of a crime than that dude, that Nigerian dude that was that scammed the American government with them PPE loans that they were giving out like hotcakes. You know, that people that had a business should have got it because half of that shit was forgiven. You know, they could have just used the money for what it was really intended, and you know, and upgraded a lot of their shit, their business. I gotta get a lawnmower now, man. Woo. I'm gonna have to pay somebody to do it until I get a lawnmower. I gotta get a lawnmower. Something to cut the grass with, you know? But I'll get that in due time. I mean, there's no HOA or nothing like that, but, you know, you can't let the grass get too long, you know, because it kind of mess with them. You know, so spray that motherfucking Windex on this goddamn stainless steel, let it sit for a couple seconds, and hit it with the hot water. Straight. Yeah. Oh, Daniel Kinhan, man. About time they caught his ass, man. You know, they was more worried about Mandaro and all these other cats, but you know how the hell the dope was getting over here. You know how the hell the dope was getting over here. You know, they had reports of Irish people in South America and shit setting up shop. You know, so how the hell the dope was getting over here? You know? It ain't that many options. Okay, you got plane, you got tunnels, you got boat, you got vehicle, you got maybe a mule, a person, you know, walking across. But there ain't that many ways, you know. And folks out here acting brand new, huh? Folks out here acting brand new. But all this is my 3 cents. But all this is my 3 cents. I'm not acting like I'm a know-it-all or I got all the answers and shit like that. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. Not an expert opinion or nothing like that. I'm just saying. You know, a lot of people fucked up with this. A lot of people fucked up with this. You know, and the trial, I wish it would be live. I wish the trial would be live because I don't think Daniel Kinhan is going to grass anybody out, going to rat anybody out. I don't think he is. But I think other people, especially, you know, people that don't live in the UK, because you know people who live in Ireland, you know, they're gonna be. I wouldn't do it. I'd be like, I don't know nothing. But people who live over here in the US and other countries, they ain't gonna have no problem telling on them. You know, all the promoters gonna have to say something because all that shit's gonna come up. You know, maybe ticket sales gonna come up. Like, how the hell all these tickets end up on the secondary market so fast? You know what I'm saying? They're gonna try to dig up every little thing they can squeeze people into tattletelling, and they're gonna have to. Everything, all the businesses, all the houses that he had in the UK and Ireland, all those big mansions and shit. Who, you know, the lawyers, his accountants. All them cats gonna have to. All them cats. What's up, Bruce? Yep, all them cats. You know, and you know Tyson Fury probably shook. He probably like, fuck. Now I gotta fucking sit up over here and answer some questions and make a decision on whether or not I'm gonna tell or not tell. Do you know what I'm saying? Because because he was still bumping into him when he was wanted. You were still doing business with a wanted man, and you knew it. But everybody want to hide behind the innocent until proven guilty and all that shit. But come on, bro. Ain't nobody that fucking stupid. Ain't nobody that fucking stupid. You know, you can't be the Gypsy King. You can't be the Gypsy King and not know a gangster and not know a gangster. Not know who a fucking gangster is around you. You can't be the Gypsy King and not know that. You know, you just can't be. You know, and I think it's stupid to even imply that he didn't know. So I think he honestly did. Now, some people I would say no, but this guy, he knew. He knew, he just didn't give a fuck. Because that's the type of person he is. Yeah, that's your friend and all, but why would you go to Dubai and hang out with him on his birthday or some shit like that, knowing now what he's running from everybody? And then he's still showing up, and then you got Daniel Kinhan still showing up the fights over there in Saudi Arabia and Dubai and all that shit. So was he still in boxing this whole time? Was he still in boxing this whole time? Like you would think all of his accounts is gone, probably besides a few. He needs cash flow and all that stuff. That's just me. That's just me thinking, right? You know, you a bad man, you need cash flow. You know, or did the cash flow stop coming and he stopped paying the fees to somebody in the Middle East to where he finally got nabbed? You know? Because there got to be something. You know, boxing in Dubai, boxing over there in the Middle East ain't what it is no more. That's dying out. You know, people want to have more fights in the UK and in America now. You know, even though it's convenient for a lot of people that want to sit at home because the fights come on at a nice time, especially when you got a double header for that night. If you got one at 10 o'clock and you got one at 5 p.m. I mean, that's a good day in boxing, especially if the cards are nice. That's a good day in boxing, but I don't think Daniel Kinhan is gonna be the only one. I don't think he's the only one that was that nabbed that day. They saying it, all eyes on him. But I don't think he was the only one nabbed that day. Somebody else was. I mean, his wife and kids, you know, I let them slide on it. You know, that's your parent or whatever. But you know, to have at the time the heavyweight champion of the world, you know, circumventing the judicial system to go to Ireland, to go to Dubai or whatever, so he can go see his best pal, because his best pal can't go nowhere because he got warrants out for him. He got the whole world looking for him. There was only certain countries that he can't go to. He couldn't come here. He couldn't come here. And I wonder why. I wonder why he couldn't come here. What time is it at? 5. Yeah. Yeah, it's I don't know, man. I just think it's a damn shame it took this long. I think it's a damn shame it took this long. Wow, it's not like it's not like Interpol and all these international motherfucking police didn't know where he was at. They knew where he was at. They just needed the okay to get him, and they wouldn't give him up. That's the you know. It's like you damn near needed the Expendables and to go snatch his ass up. And who knows? He probably was still doing dope and peddling dope, and I think he was still running boxing in some way, shape, or form. I think he was still running boxing in some shape or form, and I think Turkey knew. I think Turkey knew. I think the people in Dubai knew. I think everybody knew where he was at, and still did business with him because business was still good, and ain't none of or they probably hid behind the same thing that Bob Arum said. Well, he ain't been convicted. Motherfuckers knew. Motherfuckers knew, like the streets knew. Like people in boxing didn't mess with him for a reason because they know exactly what's gonna happen. All y'all was making money off of illegal activity. You know what happens? You know what happens if I did some shit like that? Right? I didn't know the guy was let's say for instance, I want to open up a restaurant, a bar, or any old business, a hotel, hospitality business, whatever, any business. And my business partner or the person that gave me the loan for the business was a nefarious actor, and you think that's not going to affect my business? They could be like, wait a minute, hold up. You mean to tell me you've been making money off of illegal activity? Open up them books. And then after they see the books, they can seize my shit. They can seize my shit. No ifs, ands, buts about it. I would have no more business. My bank accounts could be frozen, all because I went into business with somebody and because I was saying I didn't know he was because he wasn't convicted, but everybody fucking knew. Some people got to be retarded. Some people are retarded. They just did it because they wanted the money, man. And they need to just be honest. Well, they can't be honest at this point because all this shit surrounding it, man. They could go to jail. I mean, they could lose their shit because of that. But anyways, y'all, that's all I had. Peace.